I do this with all of our companies. Right after they get funding, I'm like, cool, send me your first call deck. And then I just shred it. I absolutely just tear it apart. I'm like, this is horse. As a buyer, I would laugh you out of the room.
I'm not sure how much you've already answered this, but you talk about having, it sounds like a physical asset. I imagine something you share with founders that they can read through on their own so that it can augment the work that you're doing one-on-one.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit more about some of the things that are in there.
Correct.
And why you felt like it was important to take the time to do that.
Here's what typically happens. You build, you're going out and you're closing deals as founder CEO. You likely don't have a deck because you're the founder CEO. And so you're leveraging your network and you're having conversations, and then you go out to raise money. So you build a deck, right? To raise money. You use that deck and it works, and you raise capital, whether it's a seed round or a Series A. And then you take that same deck because it got investors convinced, and you get rid of some slides and you give it to a salesperson. They're like, here, go use this to go sell. It's absolute dog. It's super self-serving. It doesn't work. There's no credibility being built because they're not the founder. They're a salesperson. In some cases, because you're early, they're a junior salesperson. And so you're not really setting them up for success. So the next thing that I really want to break down is, how do we talk about who we are and the value that we deliver through the voice of what we learn from our customers and our experience, and you as founder, your superpower, or what led you to solving for this problem.
I was going to interrupt you for a moment just because this is a
please.
pain that I feel intimately on a personal level. And I don't think I ever appreciated it until founding a company. But then you go and hire a salesperson and you just don't realize, wow, like I have spent 10, 15, 20 years building up certain levels of experience that led me to want to create this solution in the market that oftentimes, like for me personally, I'm selling to people that have the jobs that I used to have. And so it's just very natural to just communicate the pain that I felt personally in previous roles and the solutions that I've spent years thinking about. And to then hire a salesperson and have like a 1 or 2 hour call with them to try to summarize that and say, okay, get after it. It's just not realistic in any way. Not to mention the fact that it's a lot easier to get a meeting when you have a founder CEO title than it is an account executive title.
What invariably ends up happening is like everyone just talks about themselves. Like the first slide is, hey, look at us. Look at our I do this with all of our companies. Right after they get funding, I'm like, cool, send me your first call deck. And then I just shred it. I absolutely just tear it apart. I'm like, this is horse. As a buyer, I would laugh you out of the room because it's so arrogant. And it's like, you know what? You haven't earned squat. And I don't really care if you've raised money from Emergence and Sequoia and A16. Who the hell cares? If you don't demonstrate that you get me and you understand what I'm dealing with, then I don't have time for you. And so that's a big part of the messaging. Here's what founders struggle with, what they don't realize. There's what I call company messaging, which is like who you are and why you exist. What's your purpose in this world? Why did you start this company? And there's marketing messaging, which is just to raise some level of awareness and interest, right? So you're going to send it out to the masses, things that you may do with billboards or in campaigns or webinars, what have you. And then there's sales messaging, which is different. And most founders just try and squish it all into one deck. And I was like, here you go.